Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in for another amazing interview, courtesy of Variety Vibes Radio. I'm Frankie of Frank Money Talk, and boy, do we have a special guest for you today. Talking longevity, talking reach, social credibility, street credibility, all wrapped up into one. He's got the diversity of mindset, diversity of music, and we're just going to jive for a little bit. So please help me welcome Mr. Skip Flanagan, everybody.
Appreciate it. Big money, Frank.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time, man. And I got to hand it to you. You know, technology these days, it's crazy. We've been using it for years since the pandemic started, and yet it never quite goes right, does it?
Nothing ever goes right. You know what I'm saying? I always tell my workers, you know what I'm saying, when stuff happens, I ask them, I say, what's your name? And they'll tell me their name, and I say, your name not Jesus, is it? I say Jesus, the only one that's perfect. But it's just like anything you do in life. And me and a friend had a long conversation this morning. You know, when you're looking for things to be too perfect, man, it never, turns out right. You just got to be spontaneous and take everything, like a grain of salt, man. Just keep it moving.
See, that's what I'm talking about right off the bat. So,
yes, sir.
But yeah, I really appreciate you saying that, because so many people, and I don't want to say amateurs because I don't want it to come off unkind, but so many people think, oh, I'm just going to put up a YouTube video and I'm going to be famous, or I'm just going to do this one thing or that one, this other thing, and I'm going to get rich and it's just going to be perfect. If things are not going right, that's almost a sign like you're on the right track.
Right.
Because there is a barrier to entry with anything. There are gatekeepers. There are things that just are going to go wrong. But you're saying that's just Tuesday, right?
Yeah, that's every day. Yeah. And see, my book. Now you're going into my book. I have a book called "Your Only Choice is Become Rich," and in that book, I talk about how you have to have a job to get the job, but while you're working that job will finance the dream, but God will reward you with destiny. And that's basically what that is, even in the music business, that's my whole goal. And if people listen to the songs and listen to the words, they'll really understand what I'm saying when I talk about a lot of different things. I think, I actually had a conversation with a manager last night. She was talking about everything that she talked about was about money, and that's how we've gotten as a society to think that, your only worth is if you got a bunch of money, so nobody wants to go through the progressions, nobody wants to go to the preschool training camp and then go to the regular games, then go to the Super Bowl. Everybody wants to be in the Super Bowl. It's just like with rappers, they want to be rich. And I tell everybody, being rich is a process. You know what I'm saying? You don't, how are you rich? If you're a rapper, that's why I tell people don't even call me a rapper. I'm a musician. I'm an entrepreneur that loves music, because it's been a facade that you have to be rich to do everything in life. And I think a lot of people, end up stressed out, about to kill themselves because they don't want to go through all the progressions, especially with anything that you do. Even with podcasting, with radio, everything requires work. You got to go into the little leagues. You go to the minors before you go to the pros. But everybody assumes that, you're going to be in the pros. So you just got to go through your progressions with everything in life. And that's what I want to do with my legacy. I want to teach people that it's okay to be someone that makes mistakes. And that's why a lot of times I put a lot of music out. It's not perfect, but I just do it because I love it, and I don't care what people think. I want to, change. You don't have to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be God. You know what I'm saying? To do a lot of things in life, and I think the kids need to see that. That it's okay to have a career. It's okay to have a job that finances your entertainment dream, you know, and it's something that I think hasn't been done before, you know, but I want my legacy to represent somebody that showed the kids that it's okay to be a musician. But destiny is not something that you can ascertain. It's something that God has to reward you with. You know, you might start off being a cook, you know what I'm saying, and end up being the president. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's how I move. You know, I wanted to be a great basketball player. I got real close to going pro. You know, I thought that was the route. Then I ventured off into book writing and movies. And when I got to California, I had a rude awakening. You know what I'm saying? Up there because, you know, they wanted me to write a script with a man in a dress or a slave movie. And I was like, I don't write those kind of movies. So I ended up homeless up there. You know what I'm saying? So I came back home. I was like, man, I got a great business. So I ended up, you know, pushing my lawn service, ended up making a bunch of money on lawns. And then I was like, cool. I started loving my business. So I really didn't want to do music for a long time because of what I saw in music. And I saw how music was used to impression the generations of kids in a negative way. So I didn't want to be part of that phase of music. So I just kind of sit back and, you know, just left it alone for a long time. But when I met my wife, you know, I just started liking it again because I could relax. You know, I started buying equipment again. You know what I'm saying? I just got back into it, you know, and I'm enjoying it even more right now. So it's a bigger challenge right now because, you know, even when I started, I was on the Block is Hot. Shout out to the Block is Hot. And shout out to the Block is Hot, man. Them some good people over there. But you know, when I went in there, you know, I was just in there because I got on Clubhouse by, you know, watching Whack 100, you know, because because, you know, I used to listen to slow music. Every morning when my workers show up, I put the box on and we'll listen to slow music. So I go to YouTube, but every time they had a notification, Whack 100, Whack 100, I'm like, man, what is going on in here, man? So I clicked on and went into his clubhouse, and all these guys in there talking crazy. It was just, man, why you got on that white T-shirt? And I say, man, I'm old school. I got on this white T-shirt. I don't need to be all in nothing, man. I say, if you're real, you can wear what you want to wear. You know what I'm saying? So I played an old song. They was like, that song is way from back in. I say, but it's still good music. So that's what made me start doing new music, you know, and it's turning out real good. But you know what I've noticed, and back then I told them, I was like, I noticed when I listened to the music that everybody was playing what they were listening for. They were listening for the iTunes. I mean the what you call it, the auto tunes. They were listening for the auto tunes and the fast rapping, and they had really gotten to a point where everybody just wanted to hear one thing. They wouldn't listen to music to actually appreciate it or buy it as art. They just wanted to hear something. You know, I call it clickbait music. They just wanted to hear something that you could just hear and get a vibration from right then. But it was nothing that was long, you know, that was going to listen to over and over again. So I saw an avenue where I could kind of get in. And, you know, even I told them back then, I said, I want to make it where the older rappers come back out and start bringing out their mics, you know, doing music. And that's ironic that the Grammys did the exact same thing that I was talking about. See, now people see that those rappers were really good. And so I want to be a part of that movement, you know, where kids understand that everybody can do music. It's not that serious. You know, when you go into a label, you know, you go in there thinking they supposed to make you rich and, you know, put you on their back. You know, that's not how it used to be. You know, it used to be where if you couldn't do a show, you know, a lot of labels wouldn't sign you because that's how the labels made their money through album sales. And the artist used to go out and he get all his show. And I was talking to the manager last night. My artists get 30%. I said, well, who else is gonna make money if he's getting 30%? Because I'm a businessman too. I'm like, nah, he'll never be on one of my tracks because he's gonna try to get all the money. So I think as the record company, the record people, music execs, everybody needs to have a sit down and just kind of talk and go back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? The music execs stop doing the promotions. the organic promotion with the posters and the billboards, giving them a marketing budget. They just went with strictly beef. Everybody was saying, okay, if he beefing, okay, we need to sign him because he has an audience because of negativity. So now we're knee deep in a society that rewards negativity. And even when you're doing interviews with radio and everything, nobody wants to interview nobody that's saying something positive. Everybody wants to first thing they ask you, what do you think about what what's the name said about you? How are you and this such person doing, knowing that they're not on good terms anymore. So I believe that we have to go back to what you're doing right now. Okay, Skip, can I interview you? Mutual friends. Hey man, tell me about your music. Let me play some of your music and go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of letting negativity be the driving force with you being relevant. So that's where I'm at. I'm trying to change all the stereotypes.
Man, so I want to encourage anybody watching this to go back and watch it again, especially that last bit. If you want to know why Skip Flanagan is world class, just watch that last few minutes, and you're gonna know. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the authenticity come through, the positivity. He means what he says, right?
Most definitely.
And I really want people. There's so much that you said because I'm not part of the music, but I don't wear any. I don't have any jewelry on. There's no chain.
Right.
I don't walk around. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. I know exactly what you're talking about with California. I lived all over.
I love it up
and
there.
Yeah, and just like you said, just like the news is not putting the happy-go-lucky stories on there.
Right.
They need to grab your attention. And
right.
So now what does everybody else do? They get on social media and they're trying to grab your attention. And the drama is what gets everybody's ear because we're just we're humans that have evolved over time based on survival and keeping our ear to the ground for something bad that might happen. And so the media and the news has found a way to capitalize on that and make you pay attention. And then so what do? You monkey see, monkey do. I don't. That's not the best. That's not the best way to say it, but I think you get you.
That's
I
the
think
best way.
The spirit of what I'm saying. So what do? We go out but if you think about it, again, I work out of a studio in Oakland, California, and look at a map. Look at history. If you look at the map of California, where going all the way back to like where the missions were and where religion started filtrating through.
Right.
Look at where the freeways are on a map. Look at what neighborhoods it cut through. Look where the walls are, the railroad tracks. That created the neighborhoods, which we now call the hoods.
Right.
And redlining was a legal way that if you were a minority, a person of color, you couldn't buy a house in certain neighborhoods.
Right.
And yet we're fighting each other over you're in that neighborhood 2 miles away and I'm in this neighborhood. But who created that problem? And now we've created the problem within a cage that someone else put us in.
Right.
We were not, you spoke of Jesus and God. We were not enemies since all those hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago. We are not cavemen anymore.
Nah.
But we're allowing someone else to dictate our quality of life.
Right. See, the thing is, I'm glad you said that. See, that's my thing. I was actually talking to somebody the other day, and I think we were talking. I wonder what we were talking about. I want to say the HBCU situation, and they were saying that Deion Sanders was responsible for the HBCUs getting a whole lot of notoriety. But I was like, Jerry Rice played for Mississippi Valley. Lindsey Hunter played for Jackson State. I said it's a whole bunch of NFL athletes. Well, that was back then. So what I got out of what he was saying, I was like, so what are you saying? You're saying that the past is not relevant to the present. You know what I'm saying? So it just showed me how shallow a lot of people are. And that's just like what you're saying about Jesus. Everything is two-sided in life. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you do, right or wrong, good or bad. We start the show, we end the show. You know what I'm saying? So everything is two-sided. But what a lot of people did, and especially America, when you get into a situation where you have to make a decision, am I going to trust God or I'm going to trust man? And your whole life experience is one where God is trying to see exactly what it is that you can't control, that you're gonna double cross him behind. Whether it's money, whether it's a female, whether it's fame. He want to know what it is you can't control that you're gonna double cross him behind. So the United States made a decision a long time ago, and this is why we're in the predicament that we're in right now. You know, drugs. You can either stop the drugs and the money, or take the money and just say forget everything. You know, it's just like the situation we got right now with China. You know, United States, we wasn't a great country because of our money. We was a great country because we were a Christian nation, and we also were able to go and practice diplomacy when we saw somebody else going through something. We had allies like the American uh, nations, the United Nations, and all that type of stuff. So we had people that we can go and talk to and say, "Hey, man, we're gonna come over there. We're not gonna let you mistreat those people." But when we made the decision where we were going to go ahead and do like everybody else, that made us different. That made us well, we didn't have any value because we didn't have gold, we didn't have oil, but we stood for something. We stood for integrity. We had integrity. We had morals. The same thing with the music and same thing. Everything happened at the same time. You know, instead of, having a budget to go out here and put out the postcards, the posters, they said, no, we'd rather go sign the drug dealers up because the drug dealers got the money and they got the money, so we'll let them promote the music. So nothing was spiritually based anymore. Everything was about money. You know what I'm saying? So an unbalanced ship will tilt over and fall every time. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have both sides, and that's what we do when we live this life. We got to have both sides. We got to be balanced individuals. We got to have God, but at the same time, we got the other side. You know what I'm saying? So every second of your life, you getting the instruction from somebody. You're gonna either get them from God or you're gonna get them from the devil. A lot of people let the devil get into their ears and they start doing stuff. So with me, I took off from music for a long time and stopped writing books, everything, because I didn't want to be part of the teardown. But I knew there was some tenets of being a Christian that faith was part of being a Christian. Believing in God was part of being a Christian. So even though I was working and my business was doing well, I was willing to let music and everything go because I felt like it wasn't a God. But God brought it all the way around, and brought it right back to me and said, hey, Skip, I appreciate you for standing for me. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to let that dream be something that you'll be able to enjoy. You see what I'm saying? So when I look at everything, when I look at the world and when I look at life, I say to myself, Skip, you got to be the one. Sometimes, even though these record execs got people running them, it's just like working. You may be a good doctor, but you're not a someone that can run a hospital.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? you can cut trees, but you can't run a tree business. So a lot of these people that are running these business may not be qualified, and they don't know that they're not qualified. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. So somebody got to go tell them, hey man, look, you've been doing this the wrong way. And if you rally them, you rally them. But you drop and you move. You don't have to stay there for a long time so they can go get their gun. You got to run. You got to leave. Hey man, bye. Take off running. But somebody has to be the person to bring all the people together. You know what I'm saying? Somebody has to say, hey, I want to be that person that's different. When I look at everything, everything that I do is controversial, because it's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not a Hispanic thing. It's not an Asian thing. It's a people thing and it's an American thing. And to a lot of people that just doesn't sound right. For somebody to want to bring everybody together. It sounds crazy. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like it's impossible. But God put something like that in my hands. He put it in my hands. You know what I'm saying? He didn't put it in, it's just like I have a book called I Dream of a Legend. And in that book, I talk about how I dreamed myself one day at a major event in a suit where I'm talking to a crowd and I invite all my customers to you know, and I give them a bunch of money depending on all the people that were loyal in my life. You know, I've always dreamed. I always, you know, when I played basketball, I used to dream of that day when I could be at the game and the game online and I make the last win the win shot. You know, just like I dream about being at the Grammys, you know, and coordinating the event. You know, just like I used to dream about having that record label, you know, on my album, major record label. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've always been a dreamer, but one thing about me dreaming is not now one of them that I ever dreamed that haven't came true yet. You
Wow.
know? So anything that I say or do, I believe I can make it come true. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of times, a lot of people, you know, get mad when I say certain things because they don't come true, but that's part of me being a businessman, you know, and I learned a lot from being a businessman that, you know, you can't control when you're dealing with actual people. You know, you can put a date out there and you can say this is going to come true this date, but when you're dealing with actual people and actual money, you don't know if something might happen. Just like tonight. You know what I'm saying? We said 7:30, but guess what? Man, all kind of stuff was going on. But
Right.
nobody will ever know what happened for us to get to this point right here. You understand? Behind the scenes, what we were doing behind the scenes, me, you, and Greg. Nobody's gonna ever see all that scrambling and everything that was going on. All they're gonna see is what was in between these 21 minutes or however this long, however this lasts. So, you know, when I look at life, you know, I just, you know, my whole thing is when I live this life and when I expire, the totality of my legacy, I want to say, hey, Skip was the type of person, hey, man, he lived his dreams and he wanted everybody to be together. You know, when you 100 years down the line, they're going to say Skip stood for everybody, not just one person, not just one race, but Skip stood for everybody. And, you know, he was similar to, because I'm like a fruit inspector, man. I take a little bit from this guy here, a little bit from Martin, a little bit from Kennedy, you understand? A little bit from Malcolm, a little bit from Sam Cooke, you know what I'm saying? to make me who I am. You know what I'm saying? I take all the good traits, Jesus, a little bit of Jesus, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I take all, you know, a lot of people don't try and live positive. You know, people go out and intentionally try to be gangsters all their life. They try to intentionally be John Gotti and all the gangsters. You know, that's their intent when they wake up in the morning. I want to be known for being somebody negative. I intentionally go out every day and want to be known for being somebody positive. You know? So
Wow.
yes,
That's powerful. Yeah, and the reality is the conversation, the quality of the conversation we're having now is because we were patient and we decided, hey, we're going to get this conversation going. It's unscripted. Whatever we discuss is what we're going to discuss.
Right.
And that's why we're able to have this conversation, because of the challenges that we had, you know, an hour or 2 hours ago of even being able to get on here.
It goes further than that. It goes back to when we on Instagram, you know.
Yep.
You know, this is a classic moment, Big Money Frank, you know.
And that's what I love, because you're out there supporting everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you're engaging with people. And so it doesn't surprise me that you have such a strong following on Instagram and that you get the kind of love that you get, because you are doing that for others. And so I want to show, this is how people can get a hold of you. And then we'll go to the YouTube and the book and all that. But I mean, this is your Instagram. This is all the content that you're putting out, the beats, the clothing, the quotes, the lessons learned, some of the coaching. It's all there. And then if we go to your book, all we got to do is Google your name and all this stuff comes up. Right. You know, this is not like we got to do a whole bunch of searching around to find out who is Skip Flanagan. You're putting it out there. You're saying, this is who I am.
Oh yeah.
And here's one of the books that you mentioned, and you know, people can go back and read the bio and all that. But just like you're saying here, you know, getting back to the basics and being willing to come to the table and have a conversation and be willing to be uncomfortable about what you might hear because it might rub you the wrong way.
Right.
And you're saying let's do it anyway.
Exactly. And see, that's the whole thing. I used to always say, one of these days I'm going to be relevant enough to have a conversation. That was the dream. That was the intent, to one day be relevant enough where people could listen to what I had to say, and that makes and what I say makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I mean, the last 3 years of my life, they've been so hard, because everything that I wanted to do, it's like you see it just slipping away and you see it right there, but the devil always is pushing at you, hitting you, and you have it right there. And so a lot of people wasn't believing. People didn't always believe in me, man. I'm telling you. But I get a lot of love. I'm not gonna say that because I get a lot of love everywhere I go. I'm telling you, in Houston, I get a lot of love. All around the world, I get a lot of love. So, but they don't get to see, like I say, the backside of it when I'm out here struggling, when I'm trying to push this business that I've been having all these years, But my grandson, the beautiful thing about it is I get to live a whole life and get to show people, what it feels like to live a whole life. My niece came up to the gas station the other day when I go to work, that's where I pick my guys up. And she said, Unc, what's going on? I say, how you doing, niece? She said, I work in the hood, but, they think I'm hood because I work in the, I say, no, you're not, just because you had a humble upbringing, that don't mean that you have to be like that. I said, I took a class called creative management. You got to be creative. You got to adapt to different people. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't want to accept you for being that guy. Even though I grew up in the neighborhood, I don't have any felonies. I done beat up some thugs. I done shot at a couple, but, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy that promotes a whole bunch of negativity, and people know that, but I be right there with them. You know what I'm saying? So, what a lot of people don't understand, like I told her, I said, in life, you're going to either have scrambled eggs or hot wings and rotisserie chicken. I say, when you got an egg, I say that egg, if you bust that egg open too soon, you don't have scrambled egg. I say, but if you let that chicken grow, he gonna grow big, and then like when we was old, my grandmother used to wring his neck. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, that's the old school, right?
Yeah. The body still be flying. It be flying.
Yep.
And so
Plucking the feathers and all that.
Yeah, I say you gonna have rotisserie chicken. You gonna have hot wings. You can have a 6-piece, or you can have some of my barbecue. It's either one if you let it grow. So I say that to say your whole goal is to get to that point where you can look back and say, hey, man, I did well. And when I look at my grandson, man, my grandson had me laughing so much last week. I went and watched him play, man. The guy's so animated, man. He's just sitting up there breathing at the free throw line like he Michael Jordan or somebody. He's 6. And, it's amazing because I played basketball for TSU, and now he plays for the little school TSU. I love the Oakland Raiders. He plays for the Raiders. And, all of that is like God to me. And I'm looking, I'm like, man, this is amazing. He don't know why I'm just looking at him. I'm like, man, this is what God rewards you with for living a good life. See, and you plant those seeds in your kids and generations down the line. My granddad was a great man. My dad was a great man. So there's no way my grandmother, I've been blessed in a way that I didn't have to look far for my role models. You know what I'm saying? Rodney Hampton, my cousin, you know what I'm saying? So he played for the New York Giants, So, I got a lot of good things that I can say, hey, this is who I am, and this is who we are. So when my dad, when I think about my dad, I used to give my daughters, when I used to act up, I used to give them a doll. I used to get a doll, and I used to take it, and I used to give it to them. And I say, now, how would you want this doll to turn out? I say, look how you acting. I say, would you want this doll, if this was your kid, how would you want him to turn out? Good, daddy, good. But I use those things to teach them, and they good kids, man. My daughter was talking so crazy to me one day, but I couldn't do nothing but accept it. You didn't do nothing but give me inspiration. I made my own money. I got it out the mud. I say, man, that was grass money. They
Yeah.
got you wait. But she's successful. But they don't remember the
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice. But I could only smile because she don't ask nobody for nothing. They don't ask nobody for nothing, and that's a blessing. When you can say, hey, I live this here way. So they duplicated what I did. And that's what you want your kids to do. You want people to duplicate what you do. You want people to duplicate your energies. And that's why I migrated to you. I say Big Money Frank, that's the type of dude I kick it with. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, I respect good people, bro. And I tell people all the time, my legacy ain't for everybody. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? It's just like when I sign with a label. I'm gonna sign with a label. That's just, because I believe that in partnerships,
Right.
a lot of
Leverage.
people, yeah, you can either be in the little leagues or the big leagues, But when I choose that partner, I gotta vet those people. You know,
Mm.
I'm not a little boy, so you can't come to me like a little boy. You gotta come to me like a man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm only gonna sign with one label. I'm not gonna sign with a bunch because I run a business. I run the green spot. So if somebody comes and works for me, I plan on them staying with me forever.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't want you to work for me and then go to this other company and build them up after I done build you up. You know, it's just my mentality when it comes to business, my me being a businessman. So I watch these companies, I listen to a lot of stuff they say, but at the same time, I look at your track record. I look at what you promote. You know, you got a lot of people that are desperate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a person where I just have to have a bunch of money, but I like people to be fair with me. You know, I don't like to have to worry about if I still got my business, which my business is a great business, Fortune five-star business. I plan on it being one of the biggest businesses ever. I got products, Dynamite Fertilizer. I want it in Home Depot. I want Green Spot products in Home Depot. Skip Flanagan Apparel. You know, I got Cologne, George Jones. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I do, I want to be a movie director, movie hood law. You know, I want to create content for Netflix. So when you add the people that you want in your life or the companies that you want to be affiliated with, you don't want to have to worry about the money.
Mm.
You understand? When you solidify one deal, you supposed to say, hey man, that's done. You know, I'm through with that. This is what we agreed on. This is what we rocking with. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to worry about that. When the check come in the mail, I need to see my check. The numbers need to be what we said. You understand what I'm saying? So
Right.
so I don't want a company that's so desperate. Well, they just got to do anything to get the money. You relying on me going out here killing somebody. I got to do this. No, 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 no. We gonna do this because we doing good business, and you respect me because I'm a good businessman, and I know how to put stuff together. I put my music together. I can put other artists together eventually, but I'm not gonna do that right now because a lot of these artists don't understand business. So
Mm-hmm.
I you go from having somebody on your album that's supposed to be a friend to somebody that just became an enemy because of the climate. You see what I'm saying? He'll be on
Right.
live TV or something talking about you didn't pay him or something like that. But once I get to where I want to go, which I did a great job with Hustle 5 and Hustle 6, then I can be more creative as a producer. You know, when I'm sitting down, I'm saying, okay, I like this here beat right here. I want to feature Ron Isley on here. I want to feature Kim on this one right here. You understand what I'm saying? I want to
Right.
bring this Jamaican guy. I'm feeling Jamaican today. You understand what I'm saying? So my creativity as a producer is just beginning. I did what I had to do to get in the door, but when you got a bigger budget, you do bigger things. You see what I'm saying? And you do extreme things. You know, nobody's gonna outproduce me. Trust me. I did everything I did with my budget. But when I get to sitting down and creating with other artists and seeing what I can put together with some extreme talent, nah. But I didn't do that right now because that's money. You see what I'm saying? You got to pay these people. They not looking at it like I look at it. I look at it like it's art. You know, when I do music, I got a lot of people that I admire in music that I would love to do music with. But you know what stands in the way of that? Money. He looking for money. He might not like me. So I'll find that out later as well. And I watch some artists, too. I'm looking at a couple of artists, but I don't say nothing. I just look. When the time comes, when the bags start getting bigger.
And they'll tell on themselves, right?
Yeah, and just like with this radio station, when the bags get bigger, we get bigger. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how I am. I'm into building relationships with people. That's my thing. I if I talk to somebody, if I'm friends with you, man, the only way that we ever fall out, if we fall out, because I'm not the type of person to ever give you a reason to fall out with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do nothing for you to fall out with me. So we should be friends forever. But if you fall out with me because of whatever reason, I'm like, man, I'm not even that type. Man, what you doing?
Right.
So that's just how I am. But I got dreams of being a legal billionaire with everything that I know how to do. With the books. My book's a bestseller. I got a kid's book. I love writing books. With the movies. I just want to be so creative with the movies. I want to go back to where people can look at a whole movie, man, and just see all the scenes. I love animation. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm looking forward to my opportunity to do the things that are in my mind. That's my whole dream. It's the whole thing. Everybody had that chance to do what they do. I want my opportunity to say, hey, put my print on history. This is what Skip did. You know what I'm saying? These type of movies that he did, but all his movies were to bring the people back together, to still be a little gangster in there, but with some finesse. That's what I'm trying to do. I want to reach the kids because I used to teach school. So I would never do anything with those kids and be like, Skip, man, Skip, that ain't really Skip. How can you teach us? And then you come out here and you talking about killing everybody, and that don't sound right. So and a lot of the kids that I taught, they real successful. So I would never do anything to, make them feel like, hey, I'm being a hypocrite or something like that. The same thing, just like today, I was putting up a fence. We was putting up 2 fences, and had this older white guy came out, and he was like, I don't want you to put up my fence. They talking about 6,500. I'm like, he old school. He old school. I dealt with people like him before. And that's the beautiful thing about me being in business 30 years, bro. I get to deal with everybody. So a lot of people looked at him and said he was racist, but I said, nah, he just old, grouchy old man. Let's see what he's talking about. So after a while, he see us putting the fence up. He came, can I talk to you for a second? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How much you'll charge me to put these holes in the ground right here? He said, well, sir, how much you pay? I'll give you 100. I said, no, man, that's too cheap. He said, 150. I said, let's do it. He said, I'm going to go get the pole. He go get the pole. So he keep coming back at I couldn't even work. He want to talk. So he come back. Well, Skip, you a pretty nice guy. I say, you pretty nice too, but you're a hell of a dude. I say, we good, Mr. John. I say, we cool. He say, but these guys been trying to charge me 6,500. I said, oh yeah. So he said, come, I need you to come get this cement out of my trunk. Yes, sir. So you're gonna get it by yourself? Yes, I'm gonna get it by myself, Mr. John. This is what I do for a living. I go, he raised the garage up. He got a Lexus in the garage. I say, see, that's why they charge you $6,500, Mr. Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I worked my whole life to get this car. I say, yeah, but that's a Lexus, you know. But you know, it's like he was proud of his accomplishments. There's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
that. And I think a lot of people think that, you know, everything has to be about color. They think just because he's white, he may be racist. You know, he's just a proud individual that's proud of what he worked for and got in life. And so those are the type of things that I want to share that I know about playing basketball in Oregon, stuff like that, that I want to say, hey man, look, man, a lot of times y'all get this stuff wrong. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you, let me explain some of my experiences where you understand that everything is not a racist situation. You understand what I'm saying? Everything. I deal with so many different people, man. I've learned over the years so much, you know, by just dealing with people. You know, and that's why I want to be that guy to bring everybody together. You know, I want to be responsible for the 1 Million America March where everybody comes there for a whole week and we focus on careers. You know, everybody, whatever your career is, if you're a doctor, come as a doctor. If you're a lawyer, come as a lawyer. You know, if you're a scientist, come as a scientist. That's American culture. You know, you're able to chase your dreams in America. And America just has to fulfill that promise. If you get out here and you work every day and you're a school teacher, you might say, tomorrow, I think it's my turn. I've saved up enough money. I want to go out here and I want to start a business. Let's do it. That's the beautiful thing about being in America. It doesn't matter what time it is. It's never an expiration date on your dreams. You
Mm.
can jump out there anytime you want. Try, fail, go back. You get broke, guess what? You got to go clock back in. Save some more money.
Well, there's always going to be a job out there, right?
Yeah, you got to get a job. But see, that's the whole thing with these rappers. It's like when they was making fun of Jaheim. You know, it's okay to do entertainment, but sometimes you got to have that job. You still got real bills. You know what I'm saying? But everybody makes it seem like you're not supposed to have a job. You know, you're just supposed to automatically be rich. You know, and that's not what I'm trying to promote. You know, I took years building this business, but this business thing got to a point where it can finance anything that I want. So
Mm.
it's okay to work. You know, it's okay to be that guy that's dirty 6 days a week and balling the other day, the seventh day. You know, you don't ball every day. You know, it's just like a horse. You know, when the horse wins the Triple Crown, he not racing in every race. You know, he only choosing a few races he gonna race in, and he got to win them races to win the Triple Crown. You know, you can't be in everything. You can't do everything. You got to pick and choose your fights, and that's what people need to get used to, or get accustomed to, or realize. Hey, man, just do the simple thing. Go through all the progressions. You know what I'm saying? And then if you get that big bag, if you use that job to buy your beats and go to the studio, you put out a good product, guess what? It's a good chance that somebody like it. That's when the executives have to do their job. Hey man, congratulations. You did a great job. I'm coming down. I'm flying you down. You know, I'm flying you here. Say, man, we're gonna celebrate you. We're gonna give you a marketing budget. You gotta hit the ground, but that it doesn't stop right there. We need to explain to you how you get paid. You understand what I'm saying? You got to do some shows. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. It's hustling, just like you hustle. People will stay loyal to the Crips and Bloods the rest of their life. You know, but
People sell out for all kinds of
yeah,
things, and they
yeah,
never
but
sell out for themselves. They never sell out for their family.
yeah, yeah. But if somebody puts you down and say, "Hey, man, we need to rock together," say, "Man, it's time to work. It's time to work." Once you get that label name attached to you, it's time to work. But you don't. But you never hear the old school rappers talking bad about their bosses. You know what I'm saying? That's new wave
Mm-hmm.
stuff because everybody wanted to be an instant billionaire. You know, they didn't want the record labels to have no money. They wanted to have all the money. That's not cool. You got to break
Mm.
that money down, man. You got to, you know, Michael Jackson used to make his money strictly shows. Man, he come back, man, he go in the store, man, give me that. You know, they got to give it to him. He Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to get back to what America was really about. Dreams,
Mm.
dreams and careers, you know. you want the American dream, the dream's gonna come true. You have that dream in your mind, you have that dream on your icebox. You gotta chase that dream until you can't chase that dream no more. You know, Big Money Frank gonna be like Tom Brokaw. You know what I'm saying? Say, man, you going through your progressions. You gotta
Right.
dream big, man. You gotta dream big, man. You gotta dream of hitting that ball out the park. You keep swinging the bat. Guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna do like your Alvarez when your mom and them at the game. Your mom and dad. That's classic moment, man. Home run. The whole stadium rocking. Yes. You know, Big Frank go to CBS, man. That's my baby.
Well, just like you said, you got to get out there and you got to get out. You got to take your swings, right? You got to get out on bat. And every time you make a new beat, every time you do a freestyle, you're giving yourself another chance, another shot. Right. You're building up your portfolio, right. And you're waiting patiently in the meantime,
right?
Till your time comes. And something so important about what you said about America, because America is not you get it handed to you.
Right.
It's you get a shot. You have an opportunity. I think, people don't realize in other countries, you don't just get to do whatever you want.
Right.
You get told what's available to you.
Right.
Especially if you're, not part of the in crowd.
Right.
I'm not saying it's easy here, but you have it a lot better than a lot of other people in a lot of other places in this world.
Yeah. This is a capitalistic system. That's the beauty of it. You can be rich as you want to be or poor as you want to be. But at the same time, if you're not good, you don't get the reward. But I think they try to make it where everybody, and I always used to say, everybody doesn't deserve a house. Some people deserve an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Everybody don't need to be in a house. You can't pay a house note. So get your apartment. But success is the gift to the overachiever. I tell my kids all the time, when you run a race, it's going to be one person holding that trophy up. Like in the Olympics, it's going to be that one person in the middle standing up there holding the trophy up. Then the others are going to have their head down like this on the side of you. You know what I'm saying? So the champion is always rewarded. And that's what life was about back in there when we had 3 stations, CBS, NBC, and CBS. You only had 3 stations. So they had to compete to get on TV, man. You had to compete. You had to be good to get on TV, man. You know what I'm saying? You had to be good to get in the NFL. You had to be good to be in the NBA. And that was just a small crowd. So the competition was more fierce. You see what I'm saying? So
social media has everyone thinking they could be a star.
Everybody a star, man. You can't be a star no more. When social media came, man, it was like, man, now I can challenge the people that star. I can talk about them. I can hate my way to the top. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to have no talent, and that's where we at right now. I was doing big things way before social media. You know what I'm saying? So when it came, it was like, man, now this guy, I know him, man. You want to act like you a star, man? Man, come on, man, stop it, man. So that's what we're dealing with right now. It's just like people go get a profile picture. People you went to school with. He was dumber than a box of rocks in school, but then now, when you talk about politics, you want to come and talk about politics, man. You can't talk about this here too, man. You see how he's spelling stuff, you misspelling and all this here, man. I'm like, man, somebody take his phone. Yeah, man. So, this stuff is for champions, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a champion, man, to get the big prize, man. Nobody rewards mediocrity, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always the champion, bro. You got to be a champion. You got to strive every day to be the best and not just mediocre. So that's how I push it.
And that's where a lot of people are, right? They're just going through the motions. Yeah. They're always looking for the come up. They're always looking with their hand out. Yeah. And that's what they're going to get. They're just going to get the handouts, and they're never going to be able to take control of their life, their situation. Right. They're living in that same pattern. Right. Man, this is a record, man. We're at 49 minutes, no music played, just absolute gems and bombs raining from the sky. Man. Yeah. So I can't believe how generous you've been, not only with your time, but the intention, right, and just dropping knowledge for people. I want to, you've shown enough. If people haven't decided that they're Team Skip, then they need to go somewhere else. Turn off the. I was going to say turn off the station.
I talk about them haters. Hey, look, man, I tell anybody, man, a lot of people call it arrogance, man. It's not. It's not, because I know it's been so many haters that try and tear me down, bro. And it's fun to me because it makes me even stronger, man. It's like fuel, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, my wife used to ask me what I need when I start my business. I love you. Shout out to my wife. Uh, Man, she said, what I need to be successful? I say, helmet and shoulder pads. Because one thing about dealing with people, you never know where the hate gonna come from. You assuming that this person is cool and he gonna like you and the world gonna like you, then all of a sudden, here comes the hate come out of nowhere, just hitting you. So
wow.
that's my whole move. That's been my whole life, man. It's always been somebody that I never expected to come out of somewhere and hate. But one thing about that hate, especially that internet hate, it don't bother me. It don't bother me. Because guess what? Anything I post, guess what? I can pay for it. You know, that's when I start capping. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got, I got. You know, wherever you want to go eat, I can go eat. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I move, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you talking about, whatever you spend on, I can spend on. You know, so that's how you have to be. You got to be overconfident in a world where people are constantly trying to tear you down. You know, constantly trying to eat off your legacy. That's how they've been conditioned to hate. Even everything that you look at on the internet is about somebody tearing somebody down to make themselves look big. You know, you don't see, and see, that's just like when I used to do radio. You know, we had the hottest blog talk radio show, you know, uh, some years back, and people's like, Skip, you need to come back to doing radio. But I like to observe stuff before I do stuff, you know, and what I see right now is, you know, it's just crazy, man. It's just, you know, you just want to, if it's a hot topic about negativity, and then you go to, and then when you get out in the public, they talking about the same negative stuff. So people are being conditioned to run to negativity. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to be that. And when I come back, it's going to be nice. We're going to be talking about issues. I'm going to be interviewing authors again. Shout out to Rick Ross, you know. Shout out to Al Bell, Discover the Five Heartbeats. Shout out to Haley Berry. I know my wife going to get mad, but, you know. Nah, because it's a lot of people rallied around me, man, you know, when I was trying to get notoriety back in the day. And that's why I like to mention those people's names, because when you're trying to come up back in the day, just like Isaiah Washington. Oh yeah, we got his movie come on today. Shout out to Isaiah Washington. When you're trying to come up, and when nobody knows you, and other people shout you out to acknowledge you, that gives you that boost. So one thing about me, I never forget those people. You know, Al Bell was one of the first people, man. You know, he discovered the Five Heartbeats. I'm like, this Al Bell liking my music, man. Look at this, man. You know, so it was crazy. Then hey, on MySpace, this was on MySpace. Look, Frank, look, boy, it was
Wow.
crazy. Then Haley Berry was on there, so I'll always just hit a page up, right? So you back then you had to accept the comment.
Yep.
So I put on my little old blue shirt. Then she'll have a blue shirt looking like me, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. That ain't Haley Berry, Skip. I say, well, what? Shit, she, okay, well, let me put on the red shirt. Put on the red shirt. She don't like me again. So I start coming in a thing. So on a page, she wouldn't accept the ones when I say, congratulations to you and your husband. You know, yeah, you know. But then when I say this here, you know, I'm a writer. Frank, look, I'm right. All right. Imagine me and you on a boat in overseas with the water, with the line at the bottom of the water, with the fish coming at the bottom, me and you giving each other goofy faces and stuff like that. You know, she'll accept it. So look. So I keep going. I keep going. So every day I just put something romantic on her page, right? So I said, so everybody was like, man, Skip, you crazy. That is not Haley Berry. That is not Berry. I said, well, man, I'm going to just play the game. I said, if it's not, I'm going to play the game. So I inbox, I say, hey, look, you got me looking stupid. I said, you got these people think I'm crazy. I said, what I want you to do, it's my birthday coming up. I want you to put on a burgundy dress and just post it on your profile. I said, if you do it, I'll go get your name tattooed on my chest. Look, Frank, you gotta listen to me, Frank. You gotta listen to me. So look, Frank. See, you think I'm crazy, Frank. Look, look. Oh, look, everybody going crazy, Frank. They think I'm crazy. So Paul Curiosity, that's my film mentor. So he know I'm all over Haley Berry. So all of a sudden my phone started ringing. Ring, Skip. Go to Walmart, go to Walgreens, go get the Ebony magazine. I said, man, what's wrong, man? I go get the Ebony magazine. She got the burgundy dress on inside the Ebony magazine. She got the Ebony magazine, got the chocolate sky like my album, Chocolate City. I say, whoa! I go straight and get the tattoo put on me, Frank.
Hey.
Say, Frank, I got it tatted on my chest, bro. I got it tatted.
Wow.
I got it tatted. But like I tell people, that was just a phase where, I always used to say I was gonna get a Hollywood wife, but I used to also inbox her and say, I appreciate the motivation. I said, but the whole thing is this. I would love to be with you. I said, you can be a $500 million female and I can be a $500 million guy and we can meet at the top and we can have a baby called Miracle Berry Flanagan. You know what I'm saying? so yeah, man. Say, Frank, I'll be on it, man. But check this. So she was like, she never would just really respond, but I could see the action. So I was like, cool. So I said, but you know, the whole goal is to get a good wife. But I want to use this here moment so people can, know who I am. So when Al Bell came on my MySpace, a lot of more people, it gave me a lot of notoriety. And then when I did the H-Town song, Randy Jackson wanted to play it on America's Best Dance Crew. So everything was steamrolling, man. it was going crazy. Sony record, it was a lot of stuff going on. But I was more political at the time. I'm still political, you know. And I had some Sony A&Rs at my house, and I was playing this song, real political. I can't take no more. Boy, it's just political. I can't take no more of this system. These cops, legislation, niggas be hating, chicks trying to get paid. These new haters. That's a song made. I can't take no more. I said, don't play that song. He said, I said, why not? He said, just don't play that song. I played it again. I never saw him again. But one thing about me, I'm political, and I know that runs a lot of people off. And I had to think about what I was doing. I was like, really, I'm not the guy for her because she in Hollywood and she got a lot of roles, and she get with a guy like Skip, they're gonna be like, man, we might not want to give you no more money. So I had to think about a lot of stuff over the years. If she was like thinking like me, well, like Skip might end up being great and took that chance, shit, we'd have been like Jay-Z and Beyonce and them right now. But I'm kind of hard to get along. It's just like with record labels, people scared of me, man, because I'm not gonna say I'm like Kanye. I'm not like Kanye. Kanye is extreme. He's like an extremist.
Right.
You can be extreme, and I'm not one that bites the hand that feed me. I used to ask people, when he came out with his little rants, I'm like, man, goddamn, at what point did them people show you that they didn't like you? You got $500 million. So at what point in this relationship with you, that's the goal. If you a businessman, your goal is to be a billionaire. So if you to fulfill your goal, at what point did these people say that they didn't like you? So I was understanding a lot of stuff he said because a lot of it made sense, especially with the banking stuff. he exposed a lot of stuff, but you can be too extreme. You don't just
Right.
be up. You got to have a steering wheel where you shoot at. You can't just blind shoot. You got to go get directly to that enemy. Whichever enemy that is, and you got to say, "Hey, this is the enemy, but these are my friends right here. I'm rocking with them because they done put 400 million or 500 million, whatever it is, in
Mm-hmm.
my pocket." So he lacked versatility with his movement. But a lot of the things he said, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I believe a lot. And see, I'm political like that. I live in 100% truth, but I'm not living in my truth to the point where I'm just going to try and kill everybody or talk about everybody. I'm gonna go straight to the source or straight to the problem, put the problem out there. But at the same time, a lot of these situations that's going on, I don't believe them no way, because a lot of this stuff is crazy. But like they used to say, my friends say in jail, a lot of it you just gotta be no trespassing. You gotta mind your own business on because, we live in a crazy world. But that's me, man. That's me. I'm just not, I'm unscripted, bro. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And I go in different directions, but at the same time, my whole goal is always good. My whole goal is for America to be a better country. And I'm not going to be that one that's going to bite my tongue and say, hey, man, I'm not going to say something about this. Because when I look at things, I look at it long term. And I told my friend this morning, I said I couldn't be president or nothing like that because, everything with being political is about money. You see what I'm saying? So if they feel like it's a bunch of money to be made over here, that'll shape my views. But I look at things, any decision that I make or any legislation that I would implement would have to be for the long-term benefit of the country and for the kids. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that can be swayed by money. I wouldn't allow money to do that. So everything that I do, I'm gonna shoot. Like I said, I'm gonna shoot some stuff out there, but I'm never gonna be extreme to the point where I'm gonna burn some bridges that have been built for me. And that's the way I move. I move with those people that move with me. Big Money Frank, I'm moving with you and Greg, bro. That's what we're doing. That's
Hey,
what we're
shout out
doing.
to Variety Vibes Radio, man, and that's why I'm here with Greg because my music, the industry is not my background, right?
Right,
I work in personal finance,
right.
but
Big
Greg
money.
reached out to me on Telegram, and we started having conversations, and I was seeing him around and seeing what he was doing, and I was just he was very genuine. He had a vision of what he saw this could be. He saw where things were going. And that's why
Right,
it's been a year now that I've been supporting him. And just recently have I come on board to help with these interviews.
right,
And I'm really thankful to Greg for allowing me to do that because I've been able to meet some really amazing people.
right.
And I want people to hear your music too. So I'm going to play uh, a couple of songs. But the first one that I want to play is The Streets Don't Love Me. Is there anything you want to say about that before I play it
Man,
or just go?
yes. I want to see after you do the music. This is the point that you get at. This is the dream point where you get to explain the reason why you made that song. Especially like when I
Mm-hmm.
shoot, a lot of the stuff that goes on the streets, with these people getting killed, with Takeoff, with Duke the Jeweler, those dudes are like me, man, good dudes. When I found out that Duke the Jeweler could work a nail gun, man, that was amazing to me, man, and it hurt me to see good people get killed. But it's a lot of stuff that goes on the streets, like with the snitches and with a lot of these so-called OGs that's corrupting our kids,
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do a song to tell the kids that, hey, these streets ain't for you. You see what I'm saying? So that's the whole premise of that song. But a lot of my friends that's engaging, they kind of ain't feeling the music because it's like, is he talking about me? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mm.
So streets don't love you, man. Streets don't love me at all because I'm out the streets. So, I just like talking about that. So yeah.
I like that. All right, so let's play it, and we're going to come back to something that you just said. Here we go. The
All right.
Streets Don't Love Me.
The streets don't love me. Drama, pain, and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same since I once was. The streets don't love me. Draw my pain and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same since I once was. Yeah. And then 20 years of trust and left me nothing. Made my homies rich and left me struggling. I got a place for the dream, take one for the team. I gotta get to this paper by any all means. Made me look real weak, made my goals look cheap. But I ain't gonna never stop hustling till I get on feet. It hurts me to ask, made me feel low class, but that's how it be when you're down to your last. I can't get these haters a pass, time to put it to task and break these stereotypes like some tempered glass. And I know it seems like these dreams will never come true, but that's the same way I feel about the red, white, and blue. Be a lot easier without the haters, lock smooth out the snitches. It's just me trying to hustle, they in the way of the riches. My back against the wall, I gotta come out swinging. It's H time for real, I'm slow, loud, and banging. The streets don't love me. Drug and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same since I once was. The streets don't love me. Drug my pain and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same since I once was. Yeah. It was enough for me, and it was plain for me to see. I had to get away. I was gonna die in the streets one day. Was for a good guy, but I couldn't make my mama cry. What if I died? She said she tried, but she didn't lie. I'm on the side, couldn't find a peace. Run the streets, just a bunch of trouble with everyone I meet. So if you go, you know the streets just go. You owe, you hold, you peep, you go. You win, you lose, you friends, you choose. You better be careful, don't wanna be on the news, yeah. Yeah. The streets don't love me. Draw my pain and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same since I once was. The streets don't love me. Draw my pain and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same till I once was. Yeah. They said to mention my name, give me that fame, but it's a mutual exchange. It's just part of the game. Go where we live in, and I can't lie. I can tell what I hate to feel inside. Yeah. Don't love me. Draw my pain and enemies. The thugs don't show me love. I ain't the same shit I once was. Yeah, hey. Yeah, hey, hey, hey.
Oh, wait, man.
Man, that is smooth, and it's got the message in there, and I'm looking at the comments, man, and people are definitely showing love. So I think you're really onto something, man. And so I'm encouraging people to go through, get the YouTube going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think some really important things in that song, and also about what you mentioned as far as people trying to do things that are wrong or just not the highest energy, highest vibration in order to impress people that, one, they don't like, and two, don't really like them. And so people are doing these things when, the reality, especially what I'm seeing since the pandemic, there are so many legal ways to get money.
Right.
Legal ways to build a business, have the government or some financial person back you, give you money to build your business. That why are people taking this other route?
Right.
So why do you think that is? Why are people trying so hard to impress people with doing the wrong thing?
A lot of people take the path of least resistance, and what I mean by that is, like, a lot of these kids, man, when they come out of school, they get a awakening. They get a awakening. You know, everybody in school, they always tell themselves, I'm gonna be a scientist, I'm gonna be a lawyer, I'm gonna be a doctor. But then when they get out of school, they like, oh my God, now I need to either do something to be able to get me a house, a car. So versus having doctor, lawyer, scientist, you know, as career options, they go with a drug dealer, rapper,
Mm.
and they go to all the negative things, and that's what they do. You know, we've got comfortable with accepting drugs as being a way of life. You know, and I think that's messed up. You know, my niece was calling me, my other niece was calling me the other day, and she was asking me, you know, about the church, what church she think she should go to. You know, and I was like, you know, most of the churches I know, they like casinos, man. You go in there,
Mm-hmm.
you give them 20, you're gonna get 40 back. You know, it's like a casino. You know what I'm saying? So we got to rattle the pastors as well, because that's where you're supposed to go to get instruction. But a lot of the people that were affiliated with the church wasn't ready to, you know, stand up for God like they were supposed to. Every time somebody came and said that they didn't believe in Jesus or they didn't believe in God, they didn't have a rebuttal for that. So they allowed the.
Mm.
It's just like when that atheist went to the White House and said that she was offended by the Ten Commandments. And so they went to every, you know, federal building and took the commandments down. You know, you didn't have nobody willing to fight for God like they're willing to fight for the devil. So when you look at life right now, everybody is doing what the devil want them to do. You know, killing has always been the last option. And a lot of these kids don't even understand it. Even in the mob, you know, killing was never the first means of engagement. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have adopted so-called mob principles and stuff like that, but nobody's
Mm.
fighting for God. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like we alluded to in the beginning initially. You know, you have to be spiritual, you know, but you also have to go through all the progressions. So our kids need to understand that, like you were saying, there's so many ways to make money legally. You know, that's the goal. What you want to do is buy your house, buy your car, raise your family, have your wife, and not get your assets repossessed while you trying to enjoy your wife. You know, you don't want to be in there enjoying your wife and they knocking on your door. Hey, Skip, we need that TV you got from Rental Center, man. You ain't paid, man. You know, so you know, everything in life is a process, man, you know, and getting rich is a process. But our
Yes.
kids, our kids need to know that when they get out of school, the careers don't include drug dealer, jack or rob. You know, just
Mm.
because you get broke, that don't give you no reason to go out here and rob and jack somebody. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, you can't do that. But we have so many people that are fighting for the criminals to be taken care of. You know, I went to jail for some tickets, man, and I never knew that jail was so pretty inside, man. I'm serious. I'm serious, right? I went in there,
Yeah.
man. The guy I went to one, I think it was Fort Bend County, man, and you go in there, man, they let you close your door, turn the lights off.
Mm-hmm.
First cell, they go down there, they cut your hair, you can go shoot basketball, you get ice cream. I'm like, man, y'all gonna raise the crime rate up out here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Who gonna leave this and go out there and not and have to pay a whole light bill? You know what I'm saying? So the system has to change. We can't keep rewarding bad behavior. That's what we're doing. You know, it's just like I heard about one record label, a guy in Dallas. He had killed somebody, made a video, and they went to the jail and gave him a record deal. You know, so we got it's so many moving parts on this stuff, man. It's ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has to do their job, man, in this thing. And I applaud the DA in Atlanta, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm gonna do if I ever get a record deal. You know, that's a prerequisite of me getting a deal. I want to donate money to the Shriners Hospital. I want to donate to the state troopers. You know, I want to donate to the Fallen Officers Association, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating a nonprofit organization that uses sports to create relationships with policemen, firemen, and stuff like that. So
Wow.
to get people to understand that those are careers as well, you know. And I know that's going to be hard for somebody, but like I say, it's going to have to be the right team that I partner with, because the things that I do, you know, just like the Shriners Hospital, those are charitable organizations, you know, that help people, you know, good churches. We have to get back to understanding the function of these charities, the function of the church, and the church cannot mirror the street. You understand what I'm saying? The church cannot use the same things that the drug dealers use. You know, I always tell my friends, it got to be a distinguishable difference in a person that's a Christian and a dope dealer. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, you know, the church never used money and all that to entice their people. You know, it was just getting good, wholesome instruction on how to live your life. And like when somebody goes through something, that's where they go. They go to get instruction. And once you get in there and they start telling you that you have to have faith and that this is what you need to do in order to change your life. But right now, we've encouraged our kids to smoke weed, and now you're seeing all these people that are dying from fentanyl and everything else because you know nobody's telling them to do their passions. You know, your passions and your lusts. You know, those are the things that get you in trouble, and all of this is biblical. You know what I'm saying? So we just have to. At the bottom line is they have to return to God. You can be God and be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? You can be of God and be a rapper. But a lot of people have duplicated a lot of the negative rappers that came along in that little phase in the 90s. But now we see them where these kids are getting older with like NBA Youngboy. I like him. I like everything he's doing right now. He's seen how they exploited him for so many years. And now when you get grown and when you have a kid that look like you, and you wait a minute, I don't want my kid out here killing up everybody. I don't want to be dead and not see my kid grow up. I got to do something different. But somebody else told you to do that. You understand what I'm saying? When all those rappers started to beefing, when 50 and Ja Rule started to beefing, you know, Jay-Z went against Dame. Ice Cube and them went against Eazy them. You know, the whole teardown began. That's where it all started. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Telling them how to sell dope in music. You know, I'm like, what is going on? What is this? This is not going to end well. So now we're looking at a bunch of karma going on. Hey, but now a lot of them are trying to lead the new movement, but it's a new movement going on. A lot of guys with good music, going back to good music, I want to tear down their kids. They seen what them guys were actually the funded guys. I call them funded guys. See, now we finna get in some deep stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's what I talk about in my song, the funded guys and the snitches. You know, the snitches have been a major force in corrupting these neighborhoods. It's a model snitch in every neighborhood. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's overballing and he under talking. If he overballing, he under talking. You see what I'm saying? He rapping and ain't doing no concerts, man. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we dealing with. Everybody's in amazement. How is he doing this? And if I do this, I'm going to jail. But our kids believe in that because they are impressionable. They see the Rolls Royces, they see the cars, they see the money. So when you try to ask a kid to make a decision, it's just like our women. When you put them in a situation like with child support where they got to say, well, I don't want that money. I want my husband. How many people you know gonna say, I don't want that money, I'm gonna do the right thing? Not many. Not many people gonna turn down that money and do the right thing. And that's what it's gonna take for us to get to another level. It's gonna take sacrifices. It's gonna take people that's not gonna take that money. It's gonna take our youngsters saying, well, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and get that job, man. I'm not gonna sell dope. I'm not gonna go rob nobody. I'm gonna wait my turn. And that's why I want to use my leg because I waited my turn. You know, I waited. I said I wasn't gonna sell dope to my people. I said I wasn't gonna be a bad example for my people. I was gonna wait, and God did what? God came all the way around and said, "Hey, Skip, I got something for you." So when people look at me, they're gonna say, "I want." Some people gonna say, "I want to duplicate what Skip did," because guess what? He didn't get it when he was 18, but he got it late in his life, and that's good. You see what I'm saying? But I did other things along the way that was good. I enjoyed the journey. You know, I enjoyed having a lawn service that can pay for everything. Eat shrimp, you know, shrimp.
Wow. So you're showing a different way because what you're saying is, you know, it shouldn't be controversial, but what you're saying is a little bit controversial compared to what other people are doing.
Right.
But what you're saying is, you're putting yourself beyond the temptation that a lot of the young people are falling under
Right.
to sign with somebody that's just going to use them up and spit them out.
Yeah, because of the subject content. See, a lot of people understand why people use it. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
They know the music that they putting out. If I know okay, let me say this here. When you can go to jail for a traffic violation, right? If they got cameras on the thing, if they see you pass that stop sign, you can go to jail, can't you?
Yep.
But if a camera catch you killing somebody, they can't really take you to jail. You understand what I'm saying? So why is it you don't need a whole bunch of evidence to take somebody to jail for a traffic violation? But if somebody kills somebody, you got to go through everything. So all these guys do is they keep adding teardrops.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day when we was growing up, you kill somebody, that's the end. That's the end. But now when you don't prosecute crime, you say, okay, it's okay for you to go ahead and kill somebody. We're going to give you 6 years. Go ahead and kill somebody else. You're promoting genocide. So we need a face to promote this genocide. We need a face to promote these drugs. Let's listen to his music content. He's a good candidate. Bring him. We need him.
Wow.
So a lot of times it's an agenda with some of these labels. It's an agenda. They want to, use somebody to promote selling dope. Selling dope is $1 billion business. So they want to promote it. So they use a youngster. They're going to exploit a youngster or a snitch. A
Mm-hmm.
snitch, he already showed that he was loyal, on the streets. So they make him a rapper. They reward him. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're fighting against, and I'm willing to die behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? I've done everything I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Every dream I wanted to come true. So my whole thing is now, if I was to die tomorrow, they're going to know Skip told us what was going on. You know what I'm saying? He told us that it was a dirty world and they was exploiting our kids. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
guess what he did? He didn't do that. So they gonna know that to get where I got, it's gonna have to require some sacrifice. But we gotta push that thing forward. You know what I'm saying? Just like when they talk about HBCUs, I'm getting ready to go do my song Real Niggas at the HBU, but I'm gonna call it Real
Mm-hmm.
Hitters. I'm not gonna call it Real Niggas, but the reason that I'm doing it at the HBCUs is because of a lot of people don't understand. I went to a HBCU. They don't understand that, you know, we've never had a bunch of money to do the things that we need to do. It's just like with my small business. I've never had a business loan to do my business, but I've been able to do a whole bunch with nothing. So if we've never had a bunch of money to do nothing, it's just like Tom Brady just got what, 275 million to be a broadcaster?
I think it's even more than that. It's more
Yeah,
than he made
300
like his whole
might
time
be.
playing.
Yeah, but HBCU don't even have 10 or 15 million. So we got to see how this thing works. So uh we've never had the most money, man. So for them guys to come out and get to talking about HBCUs because they don't have a bunch of money, they're not privy to that experience. My experience with HBCU was beautiful until this one coach told me I couldn't take the team picture. He did me real bad, man. I was on the team, leading the team out, and it was our first year in the gym. And he told me I couldn't take the picture. So every time I go in there right now, I don't see my picture. It hurt me. It hurt me every time I look at it. But I went to Oregon Tech. White coach treated me like a king. Broke the records up there and everything. But I say that to say I don't feel bad about the HBCU as I do about that one individual. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to go and trash HBCUs because of that one hater. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And as I got older, I realized that a lot of men hate me because they are men. They compare themselves to me. So I love HBCUs because, when I got out of school, my GPA was a 1.9. Even though I was smart, I was concentrating on basketball. I didn't try to, get my GPA up. So the HBCU had it where you didn't have to have a 2.0. They had open admissions.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if I wanted to go to a PWI, they had to vet my mama and she had to have some money. And we had to have enough money to be able to afford going to a PWI. So that wasn't a realistic goal unless I got a scholarship. So I have a lot of respect for the HBCUs in that way because they've done something with nothing over all these years. And so when
Right.
you get to this point right here, it's just like when Dion was saying that we had to ride the bus. Yes, we had to ride the bus from Alcorn to Alabama State to because all of those schools are right in the same area. So if the school is on a budget, yes, you got to catch the bus. And it was
Right.
fun, though. Them road trips was fun, man. I'm telling you. We ate the best restaurants, man. I'm talking about we had fun, man. I mean, TSU had a state of art gym, still got it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just put that broad brush on all HBCUs, and now you got a whole movement of people just going around talking about HBCUs. And what it does is this is the point that people don't get. When you got somebody around here tearing down the HBCUs, you got a whole
Mhm.
movement going on. The long-term effect of that is going to be this. When it comes to them recruiting, and I come up here and tell you, let's go to this PWI or go to this HBCU, kid gonna automatically say, man, I don't want to go to HBCU, man. I'm going to the PWI. So what have you done? You've led everybody to the PWIs and not nobody's gonna go to the HBCUs. So that's what we have to be mindful of because we look at all these people based on popularity, based on money, and we don't look at the substance of what's behind that. What's the
Mm.
intangible benefit or problem that's going to be created from what he did. So those are the things that I want to point out to people, man. You can't really just keep looking at the money because people that can really do something don't never get the money. So are you going to look at those people? You're not. What will be the reason for you? Like I used to tell people, and I still tell them, what will make you buy my music, man?
Mm.
What's gonna make you go get me and just say, hey, Skip, I like your music? What is it gonna take? Is it gonna take me getting a record deal? Then you're gonna say, well, okay, yeah, Skip, yeah, man. But why you couldn't do that from the beginning? Why you couldn't do that when I was trying to beat your ears up? Hey, man, listen to this, man. Listen to this. But that's the way we've been conditioned. Even with
Right.
radio, you go try to talk to a radio DJ right now, he ain't gonna pay you no mind.
Right.
Don't mind. But back in the day, they used to always break records. They used to always interview people and give them that opportunity. Then once they get on the radio, then you can go do the shows. So when you got all the aspects of everything messed up, the whole process of record label signing artists and doing that promotional part, everybody is cheating, everybody is scamming. Everything is digital now. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's relying on everything digitally. Everybody is digitally controlled. You see what I'm saying? So
Wow.
if I know that everything, and that's a big problem right now. Everybody is digitally controlled. So it's just like everything that they do. If they know it's not negative, they're not gonna do it because they know in
Mm.
the back of their mind, if I do something negative, I'm gonna get paid for it. So basically, you control, you program. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna do it because it's some money. You're gonna do it for popularity. So that's where we're at right now. Nobody
Yeah,
wants.
and not just music. I mean, it's just anybody on
Yeah,
TikTok. The milk crate challenge, or
right.
they're doing extreme things to get that
Right.
attention in
Yeah.
order to turn it in to get
Monetize.
monetized.
Yeah, monetize.
Yeah.
So if that's the only thing that they're rewarding is negativity, then guess what? You're gonna have a whole culture full of negative people. You see what
Wow.
I'm saying? So, and that's what our kids have become. So they don't want to be positive because it's just like you might raise your kid real good, right? You
Hmm.
might do a great job of raising them. But then the culture gonna raise them because what kid want to stand out alone? Same thing had to Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus, when she first came out, was the perfect kid.
Hmm.
No, I'm talking about perfect. But can you imagine a kid trying to stand alone and be perfect when you got all your friends out here doing all kind of crazy stuff?
Right.
So culture ends up raising our kids. You know what I'm saying? We do our best we can, but then, I might not try. I want my kid to wear no skinny jeans, but then all of a sudden he gonna be looking like, man, you got me looking crazy. And all my friends wear it. Give me these. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's the culture that raises our kids. So we got to understand what culture are we allowing to happen. In China and all those other countries, they don't let them do a lot of the negative stuff we do. They don't even, they censor that. You know, even on TikTok, you can't curse on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a lot of times we have to understand freedom is not always good. Absolute freedom is not good. And we got to have some kind of regulations and guidelines and restraints for our kids.
Right. Well, what they don't understand is that there's freedom to do what you want to do, but there's not freedom from consequence.
Right. Just like we're
saying. So you got to have the willingness to take if you want to do that thing, you got to be willing to take the consequences.
Right. Yeah, you got to pay for it. You got to, with some ways to sin, man. And a lot of people don't believe that, you know, with karma and everything else. So, you know, one thing I know and I've witnessed over the years is a lot of people that play with God. You know, God said a hypocrite will go to the deepest dwelling of hell. You know, a lot of people that play with God, that karma end up coming back and get them, man. You know, so it's real, man.
Wow. So along those lines, I want to play 2 songs as we're starting to wrap up here. So would you rather go with Chet Along or Welcome to Hard Times?
Go to Chet Along. I like Welcome to Hard Times too. But
I like it too. And I know Greg does. But we're going to save my favorite for last. But okay, Chet Along. I'm going to just run it.
Chet Along, get a nice little move, man. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Yeah,
it's picking up traction. It's picking up traction. So
yeah.
I want everyone to hear it, and then I want them to go to the Spotify and the YouTube and save it so they can hear it again. Okay, here we go.
Counting shots in your ways, you was shocked in the day. Wait till the real cats go down so you can get the cake. You know these fake cats gotta be headstrong. I ain't gon' stop getting money till my cheddar long. I'm dead and gone. They say I'm dead wrong. Gotta get my cheddar long. Cheddar long, cheddar long. Hey. Cheddar long, cheddar long. The brown cover, I keep moving, keep growing. I'm like the old seeing eye, yeah. All knowing that when the beat starts to break, I need to describe your hate. You stay the swagger, case and player, hating, faking your bitch. Riding hard in the hall, but I think you a snitch. Never seen a lifelong groomer on the TV selling bricks, but you're the coldest rapper. You got so many hits, and now my twist to you. I guess you saw it coming. You never wanted to see me boss, so you was steady stunning. With your thug money, drug money, put in my face while you was steady moving around. I was putting money in my safe, planning the big escape to the house of the lake. Expensive bunch of fancy cars and some silk drapes. Not the one to beg, but might break your leg. You across on real smooth, go by your head. You say you're real, I'm gon' chill. Stay cool and stay strong, cause I'm gon' keep getting money till my cheddar's long, cheddar's long. Cheddar long, cheddar long. Shots with your ways, you was shocked in the day. Wait till the real cats go down so you can get the cake. You know these fake cats gotta be headstrong. I ain't gon' stop getting money till my cheddar's long. I'm dead and gone. They say I'm dead wrong. Gotta get my cheddar long. Cheddar long, cheddar long. Hey. Cheddar long, cheddar long. Cheddar long, get it on. Southside, you know it's on. One to your dome. Holla at you later on my grind, gotta shine. Hold up on me, give it my time. They bust the gun. Already left the line way behind. Giving you who you and your homeboy. Dead in to get it. How you love it, homeboy. These boys do the style, bumping the gun. Let that mouth big enough to shoot these guns. You the boys. Keep your eyes on my paper. I'm just a thug in the street. Gotta get that paper. Triple A, break up. Back at 97, sitting crooked on the side, a little closer to heaven. It's a ball head, hey. Cheddar long, cheddar long. Counting shots in your ways, you was shocked in the day. Wait till the real cats go down so you can get the cake. You know these fake cats gotta be headstrong. I ain't gon' stop getting money till my cheddar's long. I'm dead and gone. They say I'm dead wrong. Gotta get my cheddar long. Cheddar long, cheddar long. Hey. Cheddar long, cheddar long. I wish that you could see me, but I stay versatile. I'ma break the scene in several different styles. Throw it in the game, stay laced with brand age. So once I hit the mile, baby, money's pocket change. I'ma get it cause I want it. When I want it, I'ma get it. So everything you thinkin', you can think. Pimp get it anytime, any place. First impression gon' stick. House on the hill, private lake, I got this. So what you waiting for? Who you searching for? Who you looking for? My ride's valet at the door, headed out another spot. Tick-tock, screen strap, watch the cops spit the block, millennium Benz on top. For a minute just to ride some horse, I knew they 9 to 5. Then you know I keep a plan, what do
whatever to take my hand. From the feds, from the laws, check stub on my house. That's my mission, can't go wrong with proving right, my chapter's strong.
Shiesty with your ways, you was shiesty in the day. Wait till the real cats will down so you can get the cake. Deal with these fake cats, gotta be headstrong. I ain't gon' stop getting money until my chill's long. I'm dead and gone. They say I'm dead wrong, gotta leave my chill alone. Chill alone, chill alone. Hey. Chill alone, chill alone.
Man, I about knocked over the. They didn't see that, but I think you saw. I about knocked everything over, man. I'm up here saying, get the blood flowing, man. So
yeah, man, I love that. So I made that beat, man. I was like, ooh, wee.
Yeah, I mean, what don't you do, man? I mean, from merchandising to producing, we're gonna showcase for the last song my favorite because it's coming up on Valentine's Day, so
yes, sir.
I want to give a little something to everybody over here.
Yeah.
But what are you looking to do next, man? I mean, who are you looking to work
my
with?
My goal is to be a movie director, so I want to shoot this movie. That's what I'm trying to. The movie called Hood Law, man. It's gonna be a good movie, but that's why I was telling my friend. I said after I do this movie, man, it's just not gonna be nothing I haven't done that I wanted to do.
Wow.
Book writing, have my own business. That's the finale. Which I don't want it to be the finale. I'm not saying finale as I want to be dead or nothing, but I'm just saying, as far as anything that I could do that make a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? I've done everything that's required to that was looking good. I liked it, that little shot.
You like that? I'll leave it like that.
No, I mean, I'm just saying I can see myself clear now. But I've done, like I said, all my dreams came true. My dream was to go to Hollywood. I want to send a shout out to Exlibris for making that dream come true too. And especially to the Block is Hot, Spunk Big and them, and y'all, Frank, and everybody on the line, man. A lot of times when I used to go on the Block is Hot, I'm just a man. I don't like criticism, but I appreciate criticism, man. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want them to ever think that I just didn't like the criticism. It's just I'm just a boss, man. I don't want to hear it, but I'm going to listen. But you know what I'm saying? But I love them people, man, because they made me a better person. Track Pros as well, man. I've been messing with Track Pros since MySpace, man. And, it was
MySpace music. Shout out to MySpace music.
Yeah, shout out to Atlantic, too, man. Atlantic been chasing me for years, man. And I really appreciate them, man. But, they got to come on with it, man. It's a lot of stuff going on, too. But Atlantic, man, we from MySpace, man. I'm talking about, man, it was like crazy. And it was crazy how Track Pros been friends with me all these years, man. It was like one day they just hit me up. You need some tracks, Skip? Yeah, man, come on. So they produce tracks like with the flavor that I like. You know what I'm saying? So it makes me where I don't, I have to do a whole bunch of making beats. So I like to mix it up a little bit, and I really appreciate them people, man. We got to tighten up on some paperwork later on, but I'm gonna take care of them, but Spunk Bigger, we're gonna do some tracks. Spunk Bigger, man, big time dude, man. I appreciate it, man. He reached out to me, sent me a track, man. That joke with Jam, and we're gonna heat that up. You know what I'm saying? But man, I'm enjoying everything that came out the Block is Hot, man. 5-man band, all them people, man. You remember the night when what's the name was in there, man? That was amazing, man. When what's the name? What's the name that's got in trouble, man?
Yeah.
What's his name? When he was in there that night when I was in there, Akon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Man, that stuff be amazing.
Thousands of people in that room, man.
Man, that was crazy that night,
bro.
That was crazy that night. But I had invited a lot of people, man. I just invite some of the celebs just to see who gonna show up.
And you never know who's gonna show up.
Yeah, but but my whole thing is when I get to where I want to go, I'm gonna reach back out to them.
All right. So it looks like we lost Skip, but I think he'll come back in. So let's give it one more try. Otherwise, we're going to play his last song here. Yep. Looks like you might have lost signal. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to give him an opportunity to come back around. If you've been enjoying this interview, let us know in the comments that you've been having a good time. And give him some feedback, man. And if you're holding out on the money, give this man the record deal he deserves. You've seen he's got the longevity. So thank you to Variety Vibes Radio. If you want to do an interview as well, click on the link, check out the website, see what we could do for you. I think that if you've got some marketing dollars and you're willing to invest in your business, you'll see some of the packages that we have on there. Your dollars will go a lot further working with Greg and Variety Vibes Radio. I promise you, he's the kind of guy that's going to over deliver, and we've been doing it for a lot of people, and we're going to continue to do it. Let's give it one more shot and see if he can come back around. If you can hear me, Skip, try to go out and come back in. It's not coming through. So as we're coming up on Valentine's Day and the end of our show, I wanted to switch it up a little bit and play a song that will show a different dynamic to Skip. Oh, here he comes. Hold on. Here we go. Are you back now?
Frank, you can't hog like that, man. You know what I'm saying?
No. You were in the Matrix, and I don't know what happened.
You trying to take me out the spotlight, man.
That's not possible, man. I mean, you are world class, my friend. So I'm so thankful for this conversation, man. And I was just letting everybody know to keep blowing you up, and if they're holding out the money on you, they need to come correct, man.
Oh, they've been coming. Trust me, man. There's so many people hitting me up this week, man. This is crazy. You know, man, it's getting hot. That's all I can say. Wow. It's getting hot. But I like a couple of them. I'm serious, man.
Okay. Well,
there's big stuff coming up, but like I said, I appreciate all that, man, because that goes with it. But man, I think somebody's gonna do something this week, actually. You know what I'm saying? So, it's gonna be dream come true, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come with your best offers, man. You hear him? He's in demand. Come get while you got the chance. You know what I'm saying?
It's hot. I'm telling you, it's one of them that's real hot, man. I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be beautiful. Because when I look at everything that they're talking about, it's beautiful. But it's gonna be fun.
You deserve it. You've earned it. You've been putting in the work, and you've got hundreds of thousands of fans at this point. But if someone's not a fan, they will be after watching any 30 seconds of any part of this interview. If they watch it, they're gonna know that you're genuine, you're authentic, you're coming through. You've got the positivity. And so what I was saying is, with it being Valentine's Day, we want to give a little something to everybody. So this is my favorite song. Greg said something along the same lines, but I want to play "See It in Your Eyes" as we're closing out. Yeah. Anything you want to say about this song? We're coming up on Valentine's Day.
See, I love this song because when I'm in the club, when I perform, I like looking at the ladies. I can't let my wife come to the concert because she don't because I love this song, and I'm getting ready to shoot the video, and ladies, you
heard it. You heard it here,
ladies, man. I'm talking to you, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you're gonna get. I got another couple more songs talking to the female. I just love women, man. I'm sorry, I just love beautiful. I love women that keep themselves up and classy. You know, man. That's just who I am, man. You know what I'm saying? So I love serenading the women, having fun. Nothing crazy, just having fun with them, man. You know what I'm saying? So, listen to this song, man. I love it too. That's crazy, man. My sister called me, man, when I released the song. She was like, brother, see it in your eyes. See it in your eyes. I say, what? Yeah. She was like, but that's crazy that all y'all like that, man. But I'm sure I'm gonna do that video to that too, man, because I like it too. But I just wanted to get all the other songs out of my system. But as I'm doing this music right now, I'm going back to. I was concentrating so much on the haters in the beginning, but now I'm going back to songs that for the people. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. And I appreciate everything. I just want to say thanks to everybody, man. I appreciate all my friends, man, just on Instagram. Ballhead, Track Pros, everybody, man. I appreciate everybody, man. It's a big family thing, man. I'm not just gonna say it's all about the haters, but it's all about the love that everybody has shown me. The real ones, man. I'ma always remember all the real ones, especially you, Big Money Frank. Man, Big Money Frank, you been right there, man. You my boy, man. I swear to God. Man,
Hey,
it was like I could see you through the screen, man. I said, that's a cool dude, man. And you know, you done confirmed it, man. So
oh man,
we
I'll take it.
rocking all the way out, man.
I'll take it. Hey, this is just the beginning in a lot of respects. I got so much respect for you and things that you're doing.
Mutual.
And so, yeah, again, thank you to Greg for setting this up. So
yeah, appreciate it, Greg. Boss man, Greg. Appreciate you, man.
This is Skip Flanagan, and we're gonna come back for a couple seconds because you've been giving so much that I want to give you just one little snippet after this, but I want everyone to hear this song.
On your mind, yeah. We gon' know really soon, but I'm gonna take my time, yeah. Hey. Hope it's true, hope it's real. So tell me how you feel. What's the deal? Is it real? Should I chill? Take a pill? Should I go? Let me know how far I can go. Plan for keeps, don't you see? It's just you and me trying to build a family. I'm trying to build it right. Let me know tonight if it's alright. I see your eyes, I'm feeling your vibe, lady, yeah. I see your eyes, babe, I see your eyes, I'm feeling your vibe, lady, yeah. I see your eyes, babe. You're coming closer, now what you wanna do? I would love to spend some time in a room for two. I'm feeling swag, and the way you walk, let me put some in your bag. Ain't no need to talk, I ain't rude, but can we kiss and touch? You're like cake, baby, I can't get enough. The sweetest pie, you got me open eye. I need to know just what it takes to get you by my side. I'm on some boss stuff, clean it up, you know what's up. Let me in, try to win, you know I see that green. I see your eyes, I'm feeling your vibe, lady, yeah. I see your eyes, babe, I see your eyes. I'm feeling your vibe, lady, yeah. I see your eyes, babe. We on some lovey-dovey, cuddling up, it feels good. Wish some cats could see me, that's from my hood. I picked a star, and we doing the most. And every time they see us, we kinda close. Now we taking trips, eating out, yo, we celebrating. I got them suckers looking at me, now they really hating. We taking selfies, posting pics, and now the faces mad. They kicking themselves in the ass, cause they from the bag. It's my treat when we eat, yo, we ballin' big. I'm trying to see what's up with us having kids. We built from scratch, the perfect match, I don't know how to act. I love you, baby, he can't have you back. I see in your eyes, I'm feeling your vibe, lady, yeah. I see your eyes, babe, I see your eyes. I'm feeling your vibe, lady, yeah. I see your eyes, babe.
Man,
there it is.
I
There it
appreciate
is.
that, Big Money Frank.
So hey, if you're looking for that special someone, you better add this to the playlist.
Yes,
if you're
yes.
trying to hook it up with a little baby brother or baby sister,
Yeah,
add this to
man.
the playlist.
Tell her you want to see in her eyes. Yes, indeed, right.
The one and only Skip Flanagan, everybody.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I've had fun, man. I promise.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for being so generous with your time, the wisdom. Man, again, thank you to Greg, Variety Vibes Radio, the whole crew over there.
Yes, indeed.
This has been a lot of fun. The time's flown by. So, any parting parting wisdom you want to give us before we close this out?
You know, one thing about it, I'm gonna send a shout out to my mom. I love you, mama. I know she's gonna be talking crazy, but I love you, mama. My little grandson, baby mama, them all, yeah, we would. But one thing about life, man, this is what I used to always say: you got to be the Picasso of your life, man. You got to paint that picture. You know, you never unveil that picture until the end. You know how you go to the art show and you got the little cover on it. You know, nobody gonna know you messed up. You know, nobody gonna know that somebody bumped into the painting and it fell on the ground. You know, the only thing they're gonna see is a masterpiece. You know, I went through this all the progressions with it, getting the artwork done, you know, making it where people could see, you know, what I was doing. I took everybody on this journey step by step, just like we're on this journey right now. You know, ain't nothing consummated yet. You know what I'm saying? So I enjoy this part. You know, I enjoy making organic friends. You know what I'm saying? Getting to know people, having people support me, having people come to my Instagram. Man, it's a bunch of people. I swear to God, man, show me so much love, man. They just keep me motivated because some days I be in a certain mood and they always, hey, you know, go, man. I appreciate that, man, for real. So especially you, Frank, you too, Frank. You that guy, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what I want to just say, man, everybody just keep going. You know, when you don't have people not believing in you, that's not even important. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going, keep going, keep going. When they say something, put another foot in front of the other. You know, we starting the year off new, but guess what, man? One day, whatever your dream is, man, the only thing that stopped that dream coming true is you stopping. Because if you
Wow.
really got it in you, man, a champion gonna keep going, man. You know, it don't matter timing, whatever time is just the only thing in between you and your dream is time. You know, you putting that dream together, but always do it legally. You know, that's what I want to be, a legal billionaire. You know, if anybody can be a billionaire, I feel like I can do the same thing. So that's why I push like I push, and you can do the same thing.
There it goes. An absolute masterclass from Mr. Skip Flanagan, one of a kind, world
That's right.
class. So thank you so much for being so generous
Man,
with your
thank
time
y'all.
and your wisdom.
Thank y'all, Variety Vibe family. Y'all my family now, man. You know what they say about a stray dog? If you feed him, he gonna hang around the house and bark at all the strangers.
Hey, well, we're all clapping for you.
I appreciate it,
So,
man.
hey, everybody watching, thank you so much. And hey, who should we interview next? Who can possibly top the absolute masterclass we just got? I
Man,
don't know if anybody can, but hey, why not give
they
it a try,
can.
right?
Everybody can, man. Everybody's their own special person, man. So,
I love
you know,
that.
they're gonna bring their own special energy, man. Nobody's better than nobody else, man. It's just you gotta do your own thing, man. That's what even like with the music, man, everybody has an art, man. You don't try to be like nobody else. Just be yourself, man, and present that art to the people. And just like when you uncover that artwork at the show, Picasso, the masterpiece, you present that masterpiece. That's what you're trying to do in life. You present your masterpiece, and they always say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And what that means is this person might think it's beautiful, this person may not. But whoever
Mm.
sees it, somebody one somebody is gonna appreciate you and your art. So never give up, never change or deviate from what you do. Do you and do it better than anybody else.
There it is. We're just gonna end it there because there's no way we could top that. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Skip Flanagan.
Hey,